Hey guys, and thanks for tuning in. Today I wanted to do a video. Today's video is going to be the takedown and basically frame and disassembly of a CABOT Guns S103 1911. Let me go ahead and show you. It's empty. Nothing in it. Okay, see. Now the CABOT Guns 1911. This one is stainless steel. Okay, polished stainless steel. They come from the factory with a one-piece guide rod. You can get these fancy grips. They're about 200. Some kind of Faber Cocoa Bowl or whatever the heck they're called. I have these gold, titanium gold grip screws in them. These guns here have the idiot-proof slide release, the Stars match grade trigger. It does have your beaver tail scalloped hammer. But I want to show you some of the tolerances on this. Look how tight this gun is. See that? Just wanted to show you very tight tolerances on it. It has the serrations on the top, and I like it because it's a plain slide. I like this gun. I like the plain slides. You could always get something engraved in there. I like that. It's nice, and it has their CABOT gun logo there. So let's go ahead and take it apart. Internally, I have already done some polishing on it. So we're going to go ahead and take the grips off first. And the video might be a little long, but try to make it as fast as we can. I'm no expert on taking them guns apart or putting them back together. I know enough to be dangerous. I know enough to take them apart. So just excuse me if you know, I don't do it like real custom like everybody does. But I have taken a lot of 1911s. And this will give you a good view of inside of the gun. Okay, so that's how I take them off. Now you can see first of all right away I notice it has a hex nuts here for your bushing grip screws. See, hex nuts are really nice. I'm not going to take those out. There's not any reason to do that. Okay. So let's go ahead and take it down. Ones with the one-piece guide rods, you need like a little thing like this. Because what you have to do, and I found if you cock the hammer back and then lock it, it makes it easier so you're not pulling, especially with the polished gun. There's a little screw in there. You can see that little screw in there? You might not see it, but there's a little screw in there. I'm sorry, there's a little hole. You put this end in there like that, okay? You just lie it, release the tension on it. Now, these are funny. There's probably a special tool you could get for this, but you can see how this goes back down, so I'm going to actually have to push the slide up and push this out. It's a little more complicated, but I just do it like this, and I just push it out like this with something like this. Okay, like a pen. See? Pull it out. Okay. And then you take it off. What happens, you could see here, is the guide rod is like that. See, it holds it so this doesn't spring out all over the place. Here's your barrel. If I can get it out. Oh, take out the barrel bushing. Okay, yeah, come on. Okay, barrel bushing off. Here's your barrel bushing. Here's the barrel. And you can see it is also over here chamfered out. Make it chamfered. This helps with the feeding. They chamfer it there. Pretty much the barrel, and there's the barrel bushing. So we will put that aside over there. This is the slide. You can see one big difference right away. See the ramp in there? Wilson Combat does not have this ramp. Just about any of the other guns don't. The only ones I've found it on, even Ed Brown doesn't have it, is the Nighthawk Custom is the only one that has this little ramp here. Okay, I wanted to show you that. And this is for when it's going back for the disconnector here, so it doesn't slap. So we'll put that aside. And now, okay, as you can see, normally the gun is under pressure like this. Okay, what you're going to want to do is depress this hammer, have it like that, and this is a lot easier than here. It won't even be under tension. See, no tension at all. See, there's no tension on that at all. Here comes out your mainspring housing. Okay, there's a little spring inside here. This holds it in. Okay, you don't have to take that out. Here you'll see your mainspring housing, your mainspring. Okay, you can drop that out. Now you'll be able to take out your safety. Get about a half cock it and just turn it like this. Okay, it will come out. Now most of these parts you're looking at will be polished. They have been polished, so they'll be shiny because I did take this apart before. Now you can take out your grip safety. Okay, take that out. And this was polished too. I actually polished this, so you can take that out. Okay. Next thing you can take out are your pens. And for that you can just use something like this. Okay, take out your hammer pen. Take it out like that. Comes out. You'll take out your hammer. You can see on here the hammer, I polished these two edges here on the sides to make them ride smooth. Okay, so you know I polished this and I just put on a flat piece of sandpaper and polished it, but you can see how nice and it is. Okay. So the next thing we take out the sear pens and everything, and this is the next pen. Just drop that out. Sprinkle it out, and this is taking out your sear and your disconnector. Okay, this is kind of how they go in like this. Okay, see. Now what happens on this? I'm going to show you something here. Let's take out the trigger first too. Pull the trigger out. Oh, I got to take out the magazine release, and that just use a small screwdriver. And I have one here. I don't even have to use that one. I get the screwdriver. Trying to find my tools. They're laying around everywhere. This room here. Let's see here. Well, let me just use my little small screwdriver. I don't really need a big one for this. Right there. Okay. Use just a screwdriver like this. Doesn't have to be real big. What I want to do is turn this. Okay, it just turns you slightly. Okay, all you do, push it up, and turn it out. Okay, it comes out. You know what to do is you're basically pushing this up, so that pops out. Take that out. You know your trigger will come out. Okay, here's your trigger. Okay, let's go back to these parts here, and I'll talk a little bit about them. Okay, your trigger. What you're going to want to do is the really important parts on your trigger are these surfaces here. Here, here, and here. Because when these go into the frame, they slide the most. So you want to polish that. What you do is just get some sandpaper, flat like that, and just, you know, see how I have it this way? You know, so it's flat. Pretend this is sandpaper, you'd be going flat against it to sand it. Okay, I sanded that, polished this out a little, and polished a little bit more since I got it out. Huh? Okay, but I actually worked on that. The next part, like I say, the hammer, I polished these surfaces here, these here and here, to make sure they're real smooth. Okay. Then I took this, and on the sides here, I polished in here on the sides, just to make them a little bit more smoother. So that helps when they're going into the frame now. And you could just take like I say, a small piece of sandpaper like this, and just right like that. Right, doesn't matter. So just now if it's rubbing, you of course can sand it down with a better, see, because there's a little rubbing here, you can see that a little bit. So you could put a little heavier sandpaper on it and sand it down. It's just, that's all. So, but that looks real good. Okay, the next thing I did is the sear. I took the sear and I sanded these flat surfaces here and here down. I didn't touch anything up in here. I hit it just a little bit. They said you could round it just a little, so you have a little break in there. I just did it ever so a little bit there, because I don't want to mess with it. I don't have a stone for that. The other part, the disconnector, there's two flat parts here and here. This part goes back against your trigger, so you want it to be smooth. So then I just took and I just went like that, and I just went like this, and I just used a little Mother's Magnet wheel polish. So that's really pretty much taking it apart is pretty easy. Now on here also, this middle spring, I polished this a little because this is going to ride against this here. So see, so you're going to want this to be smooth. So I just did that. So let's go ahead and get it back together. It's it's a daunting task sometimes putting it back together. The hardest part is probably the disconnector and the sear. Okay, the disconnector, of course, goes like this. Okay, right. It looks something like this going in. This flat piece is going to hit over here like this. See how that goes? Just wanted to show you that. See? So putting this in, you're going to put the trigger back in. Okay. Oh. Well, I guess I do have it backwards. Huh? You can only go really one way. So. Ugh. Tell you I messed up here today. Okay. So if you put it this way, it's going to go in. If you flip it this way, it won't fit in. Okay, so you actually can only go one way. There. And what I do also in here, where the trigger fits in here, this bonnet like, I polish those a little too. Okay, so it's in. Okay, so you can see how that is, like that. Now you're going to take this. This is probably the darn hardest part of the whole process here. Okay, it kind of goes right like this. Okay, because what happens, let me show you here. This here is going to ride against this part here, this lip here. See, it goes like right in there. Okay, so this, take it, getting it in there. You got to put it in that hole. It's not too difficult. Okay, there, because it will. No, just take it like this here. Sorry, dropping everything out. Like I said, I didn't say I was an expert at this. I know enough to be dangerous. Okay, so take this part here, disconnector, just drop it in the hole. Okay. You'll see where it lays. See how it lays against there? What I'm talking about? Then you could use tweezers. Of course, I don't have a pair of tweezers laying right here. So I'm just going to take this and drop it in there like that. Okay, see how that went in there? Okay, it's right in there. Now just got to find your hole. Okay, which is, put this up a little. And just find your hole for everything. Just line it up, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to have to move this kind of off camera a little here. Because I got to line up and find my hole. There's my hole. Okay, so now, grab my, here I see my hole. Okay, so put it in there, see how that is? So make sure you have everything in there. Okay, then what you can do, you can take your pen, where is it? Where is it? There it is. Make sure this is okay. You take your pen, which is right here, okay, and you can stick this like this and drop it in. Okay, so now you have your disconnector and your sear and everything in there. It's all looking all real good. Okay, pretty easy. Now you're going to take your hammer, and that's going to go in. Of course, we know it can only go in one way. People stone all this and clean it up. You could do that if you have the kits, you know, the stone to do it and all that. You could do that. If you don't have it, then you're probably not going to be able to do it. Put your hammer in. Okay. Just line it up right there. It can only go one way. Blah blah blah. Okay, drop that in. Okay, so we have the hammer now. Okay, he's pretty much slide up. And I'm just checking travel. Pick that up. Put this. Now you're going to need to take the spring, main spring, whatever you want to call it, and that just goes right up in there. Okay, it's in. See how that lays in there? You drop that down, and what's going to happen now is this here, okay, it's got to go into your mainspring housing after that, but first you're going to put your beaver tail safety in there. Okay, get that in there. Oh, sorry. Oh, Jesus. Okay, it's in. Okay. There you go. Now you're going to put your safety in. Okay. Pick this up so you can see. Safety right there. You just kind of drop it in. You half cock it. Okay. You might have to compress on this pen here. There's a little pin there, see it? You might just have to compress that a little. Okay, to get it in there. And that's for your safety. Okay. Nice. Once you get that in, and the spring is in, what I normally do is I'll give it a shot of like some lube. I mean, you don't have to do this, but sometimes I mean, why not? Okay, the lube is your best friend, right? Your kind of part. Put it back in, same thing. You just want to make sure this little rod is in the hole. There's a little spring in there. And you just want to make sure this is down in there like that. Give it a hit. Like this. Turn it back in. And you're back on. It's in. Okay, you're going to want to make sure it works, right? Okay, put that back. Make sure your trigger goes forward. And it does. Okay. Now you can go ahead and put your magazine release back in. Okay. This isn't too hard to do. Pretty simple. You're just going to screw it back in, but I'm going to clean this up a little because I was messing around with this so much. Let me just find my little sandpaper. I just want to clean it up a little. Mind me, I'm just going to go to the side here and just sand it a little. Okay. Put this back in here. Okay. Now, getting in this sometimes is a bear. what you do is you just pop it in like this, and I'm gonna get it a little closer here. You have to kind of push this up a little while you're turning the screw here. Usually a 1/4 of an inch is enough, and it'll snap in and it goes down. Okay, so now it's on there. So you get your, see, go ahead and, yeah, okay, put your safety on. Okay, you know it works. Okay, there's your disconnector. Then you're just ready to put it back together. Take your slide, take your barrel. Barrel goes in there. Barrel nut goes in here. Alright. Okay. You see it's a little different putting the recoil rods, you know, these one-piece recoil rods in the standard 1911. But like I say, you know, this is somewhat going to want to polish those parts up on a 1911 if you have one. You're just going to want to. Really want to, okay, put that in there, line it up, get the barrel in there. Going to look for the barrel hole, the barrel lug hole is what you can look for when you put these together. That's what you want to find, is the barrel lug hole. And sometimes you can line that up. See, it's going to be like this, because this is where this is going to go in right here. See? So do it again. Oh, let me pull that barrel this back. Okay. The hammer back, because I have to get it lined up again. Okay. Okay. There I can see. Okay, you want to make sure this is sticking out like this. You're going to look for that hole, okay? Try to get this down right. You're going to look, make sure you got this in the barrel lug. This is going to hold it. You can put it right about there. Barrel lug, okay. It's kind of slippery, so this is going to be a little bit challenge. If I can get it back far enough to do this. Okay, there. Looks like I got it in. You can lock it back, pull out this pin. Okay, what you could do is put a pen or something like this in there. Use this here to make sure this shoots out. Okay. Anything, just something like this. Let's see. Does it shoot out? We're going to shoot it the other way. And it does. So we know the firing pin works. Okay, so it looks like it's all back together okay. No worse for wear. And then let's put the grips back on. And that's pretty much taking apart this CABOT gun. Why don't I use the thing I have for that? Okay, there we go. But I hope this has shown you some stuff. Like I say, I'm far from an expert on these 1911s, but I know enough to take them apart and work on them, and you know, not wreck them. So I wanted to show you that. Okay, there. Put that over there. And there's a few nice features about it, because it has the grip bushings. I like those hex instead of screws. Screws are a pain in the ass. I don't even know why they use them. They strip and everything. The regular, you know, standard screw heads. It has idiot for slide, takedown, lever, release combination. It has the nice you know, the nice trigger. Man, it's got such a nice response on this gun. Now it does have the staked in front ones like this. They have them there instead of going like your regular Novak. The newer models have that too here. But this is the Novak. I have to see what model this is. Is this a Novak sight? It doesn't say Novak on it, so I don't know if it's a Novak sight. I guess we'll find out. But like I say, I did polish the gun up a little, so she looks good now. A lot better than what it was. This was just like a matte stainless, and I just, you know, really, this is so much better now. So, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. But now you can hear this snap on that. Listen to the crispness of this. Just listen. Oh, that is click. And this is better than what it was before when I first got the gun. It's a lot better. And of course, here's your magazines. They say CABOT, made in USA. But that's kind of the frame takedown. Some of the parts, what I did to them to make them be a little better, function a little bit better. And thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day.